Welcome back. So today I'm going to do something a little bit different when it comes to motorcycle grips. It's going to be a little bit different video on upgrading to some new grips. So what I've got here is a couple packages that I ordered. We're going to open them up and then I'm going to explain what's going to happen in this video. So stay tuned. Alright, so first off, let's go ahead and open this package first to see if you can guess what's going to happen. So instead of a box in a box, we got a package in a package. It's like those Russian Fabergé egg type deal. Okay, here we go. So here we got a iDye poly from Jacquard. So I found this on Amazon. They don't have anything local to me. I know some fabric places will carry these. They are like Joann's and stuff. So what this is basically for dyeing fabrics. The poly is for dyeing like your polyesters, different kinds of like a polyplastic. So this is the color intensifier. And this is the actual packet of dye. And we will go over this shortly, the process of what I'm using that for. Now we will open this package. And Van Colt grips from ODI. So, get a good look at these. These are the Van style waffle grip. I am putting these on the Scout bobber, which is going to get a paint job here shortly, and I am going to be going with some blue accents on the bike. So I wanted to find blue grips. I found some Van blue grips. So I found some Van blue grips. They weren't what I was looking for. In fact, they wouldn't even have fit the bike. And actually, they may not have been Vans. They were, I believe they were Hart series. But they were for Harleys. So they're for bigger bars. I need the 7/8 bars with the 1-inch throttle. So I was like, man, I really want to figure out how to do this. And so I've messed around before with Kydex, with dyeing Kydex, and a few other things. So I was like, oh, man, there's got to be a way to do this. So that's when I started looking. And normally I use like the RIT dye, the Dye More. And I want to try something a little different, read some reviews. I heard that this stuff was really good for dyeing like plastics. So I was like, well, let's try it on these. So at first I was gonna go with the gum rubber ones, the more natural look, and I was thinking, well, that's more of a brown, like a light brown to I guess more of a tan, and I didn't feel like that was going to hold the color the way I wanted to. So you know, color theory. So then I was like, okay, what color will look best? So I started thinking more like when doing candy paints. So when you do candies, you want to normally use a silver background, something with some flake in it to give it that sparkle. Obviously they don't make the silver. And then I was like, you know what color, what's the next color that works real well when laying candies, which is white. So I was like, let's get these. You know, I'm not out of pocket, 20 bucks. I was like, they look good, they look good. If they don't, it's an experiment that I can show you guys. If you want to know how to do it, if you want a custom paint job on your bike, you want some options to match it. because they do make different colors. They have like the oxblood, a red. They have Of course, the gum rubber, they have black, they have an orange, they didn't have blue. So I'm going to see how this works. So I'm going to walk you through the process of me doing this. And hopefully it doesn't fail and it turns out good, and we'll see how happy we are with the results, and then we'll go from there. All right, we will see you in a little bit. So first off, I'm going to start with a pot that I've never used. This pot, I've had it, so it's new. Although I've had it for a couple of years, it's new. So I went ahead, because I've never used it, I washed it. Make sure there's no contaminants or chemicals in there. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put these in here first. I want to fill it because I want to make sure that I have enough water in here that covers these in the process. And also I wanted to see how they'd work. They do float, so I'm going to figure out a solution, because I want to make sure that all of it's submerged in there while I'm doing it. I don't want to have any light spots, so I'm going to see if I can find a way to submerge these, and then once I figure out the right level, what I'm going to do is I'll add the dye, we'll bring it to a boil, and then we'll let it go. So let's do that. Okay, so I got it to where they're on the bottom. I couldn't get them to stabilize in the middle. What I ended up using was some of these, which you can find these at craft stores, normally in the fake flower section. These are just little glass beads you can use to fill up the decorative in vases or whatever. What I use them for is when I mix paint into small bottles, I use it to keep the paint mixed up. And then I used roughly about 6 in here. You can play around with it. And I just used what I had on hand was some 3M green painter's tape. And basically I sectioned it, put a piece of wadded up piece of tape, put it in, put 3 more wadded up piece of tape, put it in, put 3 more. So that way they're spread out. They'll tend to want to lift up on the ends when you put them in, and so then you'll have a little edge sticking out. I didn't want that. So again, what I'm gonna do is let's take these out. I'm gonna add the dye and the intensifier in, and let it kind of get worked up in there. And then you'll see right here, actually on the directions, fill the pot with enough water for the fabric, which we're not using fabric. Add the solution packet and the color intensifier. We're going to stir it until dispersed, which is going to be a little harder to see right now because we are in black base pot. So I'm just going to open this up. And then guys, if you have a lady in the house, do this while she's not around, because if she sees you using her, just hit my head. If she sees you using her pot, she's probably not going to be happy. And if you start using your scissors or whatever, I don't know if you saw that when I put that in, how that turned that dye like a nice brighter blue. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stir it, but I'm also going to heat it up. I'm going to bring this to a nice warm, so I'm going to bring it to a boil first as we stir it. Okay, now that I got it to a boil, I'm going to go ahead and bring it down to a simmer. I'm gonna stir it again. I'm just gonna look. It's nice and blue. Also, guys, make sure that you're cleaning or put down some protective covering if you have nice porous countertops, because this stuff will stain, and I do not want to be responsible to getting messages because you know. So now that it's simmering and it's warm, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these in. Make sure that they are submerging. We want them completely submerged. See that one spot? Come on. Keep yourself down there. So this one's not going to cooperate with me. There we go. So we're going to simmer these for about 20 minutes and then check them. And then so in 20 minutes I'll come back and I'll check these. We'll pull them out, kind of see how they're looking. And you're probably wondering, why did we heat these up? Well, this stuff works better in your poly style like your rubbers and your plastics. The heat opens up the pores and it's going to help the dye come in, so it's not just on the outside. So the theory behind it is, hopefully it doesn't just stay on the outside, so after wear and tear it's staying inside the material. See, that one's kind of bobbing and weaving. It does not want to stay down. Let's see, might have to hold it. But okay, so in 20 minutes I'll come back and then we will check these out. We'll see how they look and see if we need to go longer. So we'll be back. All right, it's been 20 minutes. So let's pull these out one by one and kind of look at them. So I think these are going to be like a nice blue. I'm going to kind of leave them in there for a little bit longer. And then we'll see how they look here in a little while longer. Like I said, I'm turning the heat up just a little bit, and we will check them again. See if we can get them just a little bit more blue and go from there. Like I said, I'm turning the heat up just a little bit more, and then so when we come back, we will check them again, see how they look, and then if they're good, we'll continue on with the process. All right. Okay, so now that it's been in here for a while, I've gone ahead and moved it to the sink, and we're going to pull these out and see how they are, and then we'll run them under water. See how they turned out. right, so as you can see, they're not bad. There's a couple little spots it didn't quite take. But overall, it's turned out fairly decent. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to get them on the motorcycle, and then we'll go from there.